most astounding fact you can share with us about the universe? The most astounding fact.
The evidence in this video will be forwarded to the Justice Department under the case number 2997869. It proves that the corrupt officials and law firms in Mass and New Hampshire spoke and were working with the corrupt in Pennsylvania. Alan Pincus worked directly with and protected Penn National, which is what he was doing in those texts. This is proof of both organizations of corruption. Ted Little is given immunity, will expose these officials in 3 states. Read these texts and tell me if he's not afraid for his life and his children's lives. Why haven't the SBI arrested him on these matters? Or is threatening children no longer a criminal matter? And when he says the officials of New Hampshire are corrupt, don't we want to ask him who they are and why? Mike Hill, I thought I'd give you an update. I'd let you know how we're doing. Have you been watching the arrests in Pennsylvania, Penn National? 4 veterinarians got arrested. They're going to be able to give you most trainers on the grounds at Penn National. You see, the vets wouldn't treat a horse unless they got strict instructions from a trainer. So whatever illegalities they performed by the instructions of the trainer, which might speak to the fact that they sent out 35 target letters, meaning the FBI. Now, how many trainers do you think are on that list? Quite a bit. But I also hear they're jockeys. You know, the same jockeys that I pointed to, right, Willie? Exactly. The same ones that I said were pulling horses. The same ones that went on strike. They went on strike because I wasn't letting them cheat. I'm not asking you to believe me, just to pay attention and watch. Now, we've got an important piece of evidence here. I saw Mr. Pollock's tweet regarding my run for governor. That's right. I'm going to run for governor in New Hampshire. Turns out I don't trust the Justice Department alone to clean these up. Just like I didn't trust the FBI, and guess what? Now they are arresting them. Before you had a cover-up. Why do you think it took 4 or 5 years? We could have done this in 3 weeks. And if you remembered, if you lifted my narrative back in 10, back in 12, you could have done that now, didn't you? Because everything I said then is true now. Now let's go to Mr. Pollock. He wants to know, in fact, when I sent out those text messages, you know, the ones that threatened my children's lives, Mr. Pollock here responded by, I think someone is pulling his leg. Someone's pulling my leg and they threaten to murder my children. It's right here. I'll attach the text. But you've heard that before. But why did Pollock come to the texter's defense? The texter is Ted Little. He was my attorney up here. Ted Little is the one that I taught. You know, the one I've been saying about immunity. He's the gentleman who threatened my children's lives. But he first said this. What if I can prove you were right about Alan Pincus and Ray Pollock? Really? Now, the only one I spoke to about Ray Pollock was Ted Little. Again, the guy who threatened to kill my children. We'll go over that. And here's text from now Ted. Mike, I emailed you articles on Pollock report concerning the jockeys and dismissal. Me and him spoke about that. Which why he'd be the only one to then retext threatening my children and reference Pollock and Pincus. Because that was our discussion. The only one who done that, who I spoke to. Now let's look at Ted's text messages. I'm going to read them and I'm going to post them. Mike, I just got off the phone with Pincus. You see, he's the only attorney that was handling Pincus. And I remind you, the gentleman who threatened to murder my children, Pincus and Pollock. Do you think there's one other human being who'd used them in the same sentence? No. And Ted Little has the right to be concerned. Not from me. I just got off the phone with Pincus. He's saying he's been texting you about a settlement. We need to talk to him. So you, the jockeys, wanted to settle. I didn't want their money. This is what I said. The only thing I texted him was I told him to shove it up his ass. Because he wanted me just to take their money and not have the criminality come forwards. Ted Little to me, I know, and I think something is better than nothing. We need to talk about it. This letter is saying my horses ran sore. Jesus couldn't get me to accept that settlement. Just send the letter to the court. For any amount of money. See, they were trying to cover. They'll give me the money and just say, yeah, it was your trainers. I'm not saying that. These guys were pulling horses because they were in this organization, which is why they're getting target letters now. This is the response. Pincus has a point. The commission goes back to Judge Rambo. She's the judge who handled the case. It might be better for her to see that the jockey settled with you. How about exclude the letter and just take this $25,000 settlement? We can spin this however you want. Well, if the commission goes back to Rambo, if she has our letter, how does this hurt us? I would rather her think we stood on principle and not sold out. That was my responses. See, I didn't take their money and I didn't shut up. And listen, if they did go out there and swear under oath in federal court, only to find out to get arrested that they were all lying. You see, I was right when I said if I have them testify, they'll go to jail. And I didn't take their money. But what it does prove is Ted Little, the same gentleman up here that is calling, he are the officials of New Hampshire. The victims are the public of New Hampshire. I thought we were on the same page. We are, Ted. Being accused against some people by you. I still said he's a crook. He wanted to come forwards. Let's see what else he says. These people can stop your life in a heartbeat. The officials of New Hampshire. The corruptness. And then they refer to my son. If he's anything like you, he can't dodge stuff. He looks out of shape. Then I responded, yeah, but you guys always forget about Hart. Right. You know, you sent a couple guys to my house this weekend. Now, didn't you? You managed to scare my son, but you didn't stick around. Listen, keep sending them. Just send the ones you don't want all back. Okay? So, all this is going to the Justice Department. Again, I'm going to show you my new lucky number at the end of this video. This is where this is all going to go to. So you see, Mr. Pollack, Ted Little is the corrupt attorney up here, working with the officials up here, frightened for his life, to the point he's threatened my children. Here he is talking regularly to Pincus and trying to buy me off to settle and protect Penn National. And the only conversation I had with your name, Mr. Pollack, was with Mr. Little. Again, the gentleman was threatened to kill my children. And yet when I mentioned these text messages, you then said somebody was pulling my leg. You were covering for Ted Little. Ted Case is in court now. You're coming to his rescue once again. The corrupt don't want to see me as governor. Because you see, I'm not a politician. But I can catch them. I can clean this up. People in Pennsylvania, you can't see what happened to you? Your public officials sold out. Your court system sold out, just like up here. And Mr. Pollack, so did you. It's not uncommon for the press. They come cheap. Most of these papers are run by PR firms. Check. It's true. Stay tuned for the next update, when more of these son of a bitches go to jail.